Hi everyone, welcome to the new channel. The topics are going to be mainly related around finances and the mindset that you need to get into to do certain things. Other than that, I'm not going to be really specific and pin myself down anything. My goal with this channel is to kind of learn myself and then share what I'm kind of figuring out as I go. I get a ton of questions from my other channels, mainly the Homemade Home channel where I renovate houses, where I turn them into rental properties, and then in the future I'll be selling some stuff as well. And so that immediately gets a lot of people excited. They want to know, how is it you're doing what you're doing? Everybody on there seems to think that I'm a lot younger than I am too. Of course, some people know how old I am, but I've recently said my age. I'm 32 at this moment as of 2019. And then people kind of get the age wrong. So they think I'm a lot younger than I am, meaning that they're more impressed than they should be. I'm 32. I'm an average guy. I've got a family. They're upstairs right now. Just 10 minutes ago, I hollered up through the floor and asked my wife if she could cut my hair, and I was going to go upstairs and take a shower before I did this video, and then I realized that that would be a mistake. I thought it would be good to start the first video sitting here in my little basement where I spend time editing my videos right here, standing right here, engraving, working right in there, making tables that I sell to customers. Basically, all of my normal work income is coming out of this basement. I then go take that money and I renovate houses, and then I ended up with passive income, which is much friendlier in the taxing department. So that's kind of me in a nutshell. I didn't want to start something out with some sort of slick production or even having combed my hair. So I just wanted to kind of start it that way, and that would be best. The funny thing is I went upstairs to take the shower, and then that's when I had my epiphany. My wife said, "You still got to cut your hair." So I am going to have to go get a haircut in a little while. I've got myself a dry erase board here to keep me kind of moving in the right direction. This first video is more an introduction. It's more of a request to go ahead and let me know what you want this channel to do as far as what kind of questions you want to have answered. I'm going to try to post here often. I just want to be, this is what the videos are. It's just going to be me talking. At most, I may kind of show some stuff on occasion where I take the camera somewhere, but mostly it's just going to be sharing of information, and then y'all kind of letting me know your feedback, what y'all are doing. And again, this is just as much for me as it is for y'all. That's why I'm not posting this on the other channel. I don't want to water it down. I don't want to even kind of have the financial side of me making money off my videos. I mean, if they happen with this one, that's fine. With this channel, it's fine, but I just mainly want this to be sort of a forum where it's a back and forth and me kind of talking about what I'm figuring out and then telling y'all, and hopefully that helps y'all out or at least motivates people to kind of get going on some of this stuff. On my dry erase board, I have it says, number one, just do it. That is sort of my main sort of way of thinking about stuff. When I bought my first house, I had no idea how to really work on houses. I'm a handy person, I always have been, even since I was a young boy, but I did not specifically know how to wire a house or do things like that. So I kind of go back to that Nike slogan of just do it. You don't need to know how to do everything to get started. Sometimes it's best to not know things, to where if you don't know how much you don't know, that doesn't hold you back. I hope I got the order saying that right. I've seen so many people that they are doing so well, but in reality they look so ignorant. They seem so stupid. This is a real shallow, kind of jealous attitude when you're looking at a person like that, where you're just like, how is that dummy so successful? That person's not their own worst enemy. They're not hung up on everything they don't know and what's wrong with them and what they could be doing better. They just stay focused and they just do it. And that really is, in my experience, when I've done the best. Anytime I'm overthinking something, I find that if I just go ahead and do it, I'll be done by the time I would normally just be getting around to starting the project, because I'm slowing myself down figuring out how to do the project. So with my first house, a $5,000 house, that's what I did. I entered into something not having a clue what I was doing. Turned out to be a disaster, but in the end, that disaster just turned into a big learning experience. I consider that landlording 101. Now I go forward having spent $5,000 on a house. Didn't go good. I did rent it for a while. I got my money back and then sold that house for $30,000, but with owner financing. So I'm taking in $405 a month on that house for the next 7 years, and I'll make an extra $10,000 or $11,000 on the interest alone. So it was a way to sell a house. It was a difficult house to sell. Making money back, making interest, profiting in it in general. One thing I don't want y'all to do is I do not want you to assume that I'm doing any better than I am. That is, again, another reason that I'm sitting right here. Not that if I started making $1 million a year, well, there would be certain aspects of my life that would drastically improve, but I would not live like some slob out of some sort of principles or something like that. But I wouldn't go nuts. I would still, one thing that I found, I think, that would illustrate it best or explain it best is the more money that I make, I think the more cheap I get. It's not really so much cheap, though. That's like, I think, the shallow way of looking at it. The truth is, the more money I make, the more value I see in it. I recently did something where I made a good chunk of money at once, and a friend of mine found out about it, and he kept commenting, but you've got that X amount of money, you've got that X amount of money, why don't you do this, why don't you do that? And it was when I got that chunk of money, it was $4,500, wasn't that big of a deal, but it was $4,500 kind of from one thing. But now I know $4,500 is half of a house. I bought, one of my houses was only $5,000, but right now the average house I buy is about $10,000. The one that I just started doing videos on, it was $9,000. It was a little more than $9,000, but $9,000 sounds better as far as videos goes. So that is half of that amount to buy a house. And so all I need to do would be come up with about $4,000 or $5,000 more dollars, and I've got a house, instead of just spending that on something, whatever it was that someone else may. I'm not saying that's what he was encouraging me to do, but again, just to illustrate it, it's the more money that I'm making, the more valuable money seems. And you just see that it's just a tool within all this stuff. I think that is where, in general, I'm going to get off topic so easy with talking about this stuff. People's mindsets can be so different. For example, with my houses, when you're renovating a house to turn it into a rental, it's no different than the car to a cab driver or a set of tools to a mechanic. I mean, it's just the house is the thing that is making me money. The money that was invested in the house is, of course, making me money too. But as soon as it's a house, as soon as someone lives there, as soon as you have that relationship with a tenant, it completely changes the way people think, and they introduce all these other morals into it, and they make all kinds of assumptions, and people instantly shift into this thing, but it's only based on their references. And money is, in general, is the same thing. If you are talking to a person that's having a lot of money problems, the kind of person that $4,500 would just fix so many of their problems, and then they hear you just say that, all I need is another $4,500 and I can buy another house. They hear that, and then they can get mad, they can personalize it, because they're just thinking in different terms. And in the end, what I'm doing, while it can seem big to one person, doesn't even register to what other people are doing. The amount of money that people are making in this world can be so astronomical. And if I make astronomical money, I'd be happy. If I don't, I'm still happy, because I'm doing fine. Right now, I'm relaxed enough to be able to sit back in a folding chair, dressed like I'm dressed, and talk to a camera alone in my basement, and it doesn't bother me. And that's because I've made decisions, and I've just done some stuff, and then that's established a lifestyle that supports what I'm doing. And it's not fancy or anything. All my cars are used cars. My truck is $3,500 total after I bought it and fixed it. My house was $11,000, and I renovated it over a course of a year, so I've got about $30,000 tied up in this house. It's a nice house. My family lives here. I've got a workshop in my basement. Sometimes I make stuff to sell. Sometimes I'm just down here working for fun. Right now I'm engraving a knife that's taking me months and months and months to do, and I'm mainly just doing that just for enjoyment. So I'm only able to do that, again, because I've made certain decisions. So I think that's the biggest thing, along with just doing it, is that's sort of what just doing it is. You've just made the decision and you've taken the action. So I am getting off topic. This is not the direction I wanted to go. I want this video to be somewhat short, but I think that what you just heard, imagine that with a little more focus on a specific topic. That's the direction I want the channel to go. So what else? The what? Daily finances, investing, and mindset. That's sort of right now sort of the direction I'm seeing it going. Why? Learning. That's both me and you, the viewer. And then also just general motivation. That's what I think so many people need. they know what to do. They just don't do it. So I think you could just kind of push somebody up off the sofa and get them to do something. And then also, it's people who are already doing stuff like me that can kind of, you're in a project, but you've taken a year to do the house and it seems like it's never going to end. You just keep going. That's the biggest thing. Keep going. My dad, and I've heard other people say this, is like, what makes Oprah any more special? How did she become so successful? And I think that with her, I mean, this is more what other people have said, it's just she just had persistence and she kept going. Of course, at some point you get that, you get some momentum going, other people start stepping in and making things happen, but it's just sticking to something when it doesn't seem like it's the best idea, or if it just doesn't seem possible. You can have the best idea in the world, but your timing, and that's what I think. I think persistence beats out stuff. If your timing's wrong, you just keep going until the timing is right. And that's what I've kind of found with my own things. So, in talking about all this stuff, every once in a while I'm going to get these feelings. It just kind of hit me that in saying that it's going to sound like that I know something better than someone else does. Again, there's people who are 1,000 times 1,000 times better than what I am and have such better mindsets. I am my own worst enemy and I know it. I can be really lazy. I can be a person who puts things off. I get up late. I go to sleep really late. Oftentimes I know exactly what to do, but then I go do like the complete opposite. Right now I've been spending all this time working on a knife when there's a house couple doors down from me that I own that I could be working on that's going to then return hundreds and hundreds of dollars of profit to me a month. Yet I'm down here doing this in my basement. And it's not just because I want to be doing this knife, but it's because I'm avoiding doing the work down there because it's kind of hot outside and it's going to be unpleasant. So that's my personality. I've kind of have my ups and downs. I'm far from bipolar, but it could probably resemble that if someone only saw the absolute best and worst times for me. So that's kind of where I'm at. My sources of income are pretty diverse, but they're kind of all related, but they're coming from different places. So for me, at this point, I've got these videos, well, the videos on my other channel. So I've got my YouTube videos. I have several channels. Then I have the book that I've wrote on how to find cheap houses. I also wrote another book that is on how to develop a product. So that's sort of focused on me making farm tables and sort of taking your area that you live in, your market, and designing a product that you can sell, and mainly focusing on ones that you would also make. Then I've got woodworking plans for specific pieces of furniture that I've done videos on. Then I've got Amazon affiliate links that I put in. I'll put one under this video, and basically it's just going to be a link to Amazon's homepage probably. And then once somebody's on there, they could go buy toilet paper and I'll get a commission off of that sale. So I don't push that kind of stuff hard. I just put it there and it just makes some money. What else? I sell this t-shirt. Yeah, I am wearing it. This is according to people that see me in public, it could be the Loch Ness Monster or a person swimming. I'm not sure what it is. But what are my other sources? Rental income and then engraving. So I engrave various things. And then on occasion, I just do other stuff. Sometimes that could just be in real estate. That could just be something that I find that I could make money at. I'm open to anything. I just basically kind of look at stuff. How much time is it going to take? How much money am I going to make? And then also, what's the long-term benefit of it? So somebody could try to be tempting me with, for example, my tables average $1,000. The average table I sell is roughly $1,000 by the time the customer gets it. And I can make a table in 2 or 3 days. So not many people have access to something that in 2 or 3 days they can make $1,000. And if I really want to speed up, I can make one probably in a day if I really wanted to. But 2 days comfortably, but still really rolling fast. But I don't have a table to make every single day. And long term, I don't want to be making a table every single day or working my butt off to making tables at $1,000 a time. I am happy to have the opportunity to do all the stuff that I do. But long term, I don't think we were put here on earth just to work to make money, basically. So I want to get that money in the smartest way that makes me at least halfway happy. And making tables is not that. It makes me halfway happy, but it's not what I really want to be doing. It's just not how I want to spend my time. It's like if I got paid to dig holes. Once I'm done digging a hole, I got to get back in another hole to make some more money. Family. I don't even know if you can hear that. But I think that distraction was a good place for me to go ahead and stop. Shower me with your ideas. Shower me with your questions. Please participate in the comments. Share these videos. Hit the thumbs up. Let's do all that type of stuff. I'm not going to worry about having this channel be anything in particular. It's going to go where it goes. I'm not going to be shy about saying certain things. If you ask me a question I don't respond, it's just because I don't want to respond to it. It's not anything personal. I'm only going to share as much personal information as I want to share. I don't know what that will turn into. But for right now, you pretty much just heard it all. If I haven't said it, it's because I don't want to say it. If you ask a question that I think is just simply merely curiosity, and I don't feel comfortable answering it, I won't. If it's a question that I think really, really does relate to what we're whatever topics are kind of most at hand with these videos, I may consider it, even if it's something that I'm not completely comfortable with. Some people in this modern age, and here in 2019 or whenever you're viewing these videos, you got people taking pictures of their crotches and putting them on the internet for no reason other than to do it. That is far from what I am. So people really don't see why somebody wouldn't want to say what their name is, exactly where they live, how much money you make exactly, how much money do you have at this very moment. But again, that's getting into, people ask me all the time where I live, and the thing I say is it doesn't matter. And I don't think I leave anything out of my videos that kind of takes away from the content that I'm presenting. In the end, the biggest thing that I can kind of compare this to is people ask, where do you live? Or they'll say, where do you live? Because I can't do this where I live. And you might not be able to do the exact thing that I'm doing, but you can do a version of it. And there may not be as much benefit in my area as there is in your area, meaning that $100,000 may be your equivalent to my $10,000, but you could end up profiting several hundred thousand where I may only profit a much, 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 much smaller amount. So while my barrier to entry at my income level is a lot less, your barrier to entry is going to be higher, but the profits are way higher. And that's normally the way it is. I can spend a whole lot of money in my area if I want and end up potentially making a lot more money. But the way I go about things, staying away from any kind of debt as much as possible, I'm just kind of down in the trenches right now picking up scraps that other people either just don't know about or don't want to. I'm a lot of times surprised that people don't buy the stuff up that I'm buying. Sometimes I am blown away that the houses that I buy have not been purchased before. I don't know how sensitive my microphone is, if y'all can hear everything that's going on upstairs. But these videos are raw, man. Alright, I think that's going to be it for this video. I'm going to post here as often as possible. A lot of people want me to post more often, but I can only renovate a house on my own, but so fast. So this is going to be a way for me to do my rambling, to have a continued back and forth thing that's up to date, whereas I just can't pull that off on my own with renovating houses or even some of these projects. I just finished a woodworking project that I'm eventually going to post here on YouTube as a video, and then maybe release a set of plans along with it. That one piece of that one furniture project took months for me to finish, so I can't, I can't post every day. This isn't a girl doing makeup videos. Forgive me, ladies. So these are my makeup videos. Alright, thank you all for watching. Let me know in the comments below what we should talk about next. Thank you.